are, the end of Wednesday night on the Boardwalk here in the middle of June. And you'll see all the way down, aside from a few stragglers just bumming around on the Boardwalk, there's nothing open. Down the other way, it's the same deal. Only your typical last-minute food places that are open, trying to get that last-minute money out of those people who are still hanging around on the Boardwalk. But everything else is closed. And in just a few moments, so will the Retro Arcade and Fascination be closed for the evening. This is the weekend of the big event concert on the Boardwalk. Should I say on the beach? It's not on the Boardwalk. It's certainly not for the Boardwalk, because they have brought the circus to town. Whenever they bring an event to an amusement area, what they do is they take the money out of the pockets of the merchants who are trying to survive. Unfortunately, everybody who plans events and thinks there's nothing wrong with that, they only see the small picture. They think, oh, well, we're bringing an event, we're bringing people. It hurts most businesses. There are a few businesses that it benefits, like hotels, who will gouge the prices higher for an event. A few people who are serving food in the proper areas might pick up on it. Some of the merchants will actually make an arrangement with the event people and serve foods, concessions during the event, and have to pay a piece of that profit to the operators of the event. That's the way it works. But in general, it hurts an amusement area. The reason people come to the shore resort is for what is offered at the shore resort. That means the Boardwalk, the beach, these things are the reason that people come to Wildwood. So if that's not enough to support reasons for people to come down to the area, and they have to run special events, that means there's a problem. That means there's a problem with entertainment reasons for people to come down to the resort. And the reason there's a problem with entertainment reasons is because of the prices and the things that are changing, that the places that provide entertainment, who are not subsidized by an entertainment budget, simply will disappear one by one. Family-oriented things will be gone, and the only things that'll be here are the things that are money-grabbing. But when you don't have people coming here for the reasons of entertainment, then there's less people for the money grabbers to grab money from. That's simply the way it is. So the balance is very important. It's very key. Even major gated amusement parks understand that they have to have an entertainment budget and reasons for people to come to the park, so that they can charge them for parking, charge them for the hotels, charge them for their food, and all the other things involved. But an independent Boardwalk, everybody wants to make as much money as they can from the location that they're renting. So if they are not in a business that's going to be grabbing the money, and they're in the entertainment business that's not grabbing a lot of money, they change or they leave. And that's what's happened in Wildwood over the decades. All the things that were fun for families who they remember all those memories. They're gone. They're gone because there's a million stores who are selling the same things, who are grabbing the money. And unfortunately, the crowds are dwindling. So you're running events. Now, when you run events, guess what happens? You take more money out of the pockets of the merchants who have a very short season in order to survive. And then there's going to be less merchants around. Then you have to have more events, because there has to be reasons for people to come here. Sooner or later, there'll be no reason to come to the Boardwalk or the beach except for when there's an event. There'll be no more businesses around other than the money grabbers, and that's kind of what's happening right now. It's an evolution. So then what happens? The friendly developer comes along, and people sell out their properties that were giving low-income hotel rates, because they were older hotels. They sell them out to the nice developer who knocks them down and build condos, and the people who rent the condos are not coming up to the Boardwalk like vacationers who stay in the hotel. So the cycle is the amusement area will fail to real estate development. That's what happens over history. Real estate development destroys the amusement resorts from which they grew from. So what's happening here in Wildwood is not a new story. It's an old story. It's been going on around here for a while also. The event is only an example of it. So this week will be the Barefoot Western event that they're promoting and they're pushing for the last couple of years. And this will be the worst week of June for most merchants on this Boardwalk. Today, there were more people on the Boardwalk than yesterday. They weren't doing much. Why? Because they're not here for the boardwalk. They're here for the event. So the boardwalk, oh, let's go up and see what's on the boardwalk. So they walk, and they're not here to do anything. So they're not spending much money. Maybe they'll get an ice cream. Sure, maybe they'll get an ice cream. But they're not here to participate in the boardwalk experience, and that's the problem. They're here for an event. So they'll have their event, hotels have their packages, and therefore they've raised the prices on the week. They don't want to rent for a day. They're going to charge for a week, make you take 6 days. And therefore, all the people who are going to come down this week because of pre-season prices aren't here. They aren't here because the hotels have priced them out because they want the rooms for the event. So everybody will be on the beach watching the event. Everybody will have just a great old time, except the merchants who are surviving on the few weeks that they have in the season. So that's the story in a nutshell. Those who are more intelligent, who understand it, they don't want to understand it. People who are in the amusement business for a long time, if they don't understand it, they are either very, very dense or they don't want to understand it. So that's the facts. And I always tell it like it is. There's exceptions to every rule, but in general, that's the facts. That's the facts. So here we are. It is Wednesday night. I just did my work inside. I'm closing. The boardwalk is done on either side. We'll start again tomorrow, see what happens. I'll open, not in the morning, I'll open in the evening, and we'll work our way through the weekend. So a happy good night to everybody from the Retro Arcade and Fascination on the boardwalk in Wildwood. You've had your education from somebody who's been in the business now for going close to 50 years. And trust me when I tell you, I'm the expert on this subject. And others who don't want to admit it, you're going to go down with the ship. Because when places like mine, who provide the reasons for people to come, are gone, they're not going to be here for you to rob on your price gouging. So, good night, guys.
Lucky? Lucky?